Hi guys, it's Maaike. Today I'm back with a video in Dutch and English. This obviously is the English version. This is the card I made. It's called Hoera. A baby is coming, or expecting a baby. And I'm using the Nelly Snell and Dada dies. This one, sorry, I'm looking at it, is DDCS005. So Dada clear stamp 05, balloon flight it's called, and it comes with a die and a stamp, and I thought that was cool. They're all cool. I like this one because it's floating away with the balloons. And then I was watching something, and it looked more like something else, so now I don't like it anymore. But I also have these homemade balloon stencils that I thought I could make them fly away from him as well, but I think I did that last week already. So I have pulled out the Carlijn design Hoera stample, which is Dutch photopolymer quality, and I will use the scripty hooray because I like that. It's nice and bold. And then there's all kinds of sayings in Dutch, like congratulations, baby, boy, twins, grandson, bundle happiness, big hug, wow, pregnant, what a result, so happy for you, you done it, graduated, topper, all kinds of stuff that you can use for a hooray occasion, I guess. Not just hooray happy birthday, but hooray everything. And yeah, I like these. So the stencil, I have omitted that, but I thought I'll make a bouquet background, and I wanted to do it on the card base, but this card has posed me many problems, probably because I started at 8 o'clock in the morning and I maybe shouldn't have. Anyway, I am taping off a portion of the card base with post-it tape, and I'm using the edge of the top to make it straight, and then I'm using the grid to do the bottom one, and I'm just choosing how big I want it. It doesn't really matter, you can make it as big and as small as you want. And then I'm putting it on some scrap paper just for the ink blending. And for the ink blending I'm using distress inks in all the nice bright colors and finger daubers. So stuff like Twisted Citron, Wilted Violet, Picked Raspberry, Mermaid Lagoon, Peacock Feathers, and Fossilized Amber, and Spiced Marmalade. You can choose any colors that you have, because bouquet can be any color of course as well, but I went for these nice bright ones, so it's a happy background. Does that make sense? And yeah, it helps if you do the bouquet effect already with little dots or circles. A bouquet effect of course is something that comes from photography, when you manipulate the aperture of the lens so that it blurs stuff that's in front and more the ones that are in the back. And that's why the ones that are in the back are bigger, because they're more blurred but also less noticeable, so more transparent, which is important to remember when we apply the next layer of white ink. And I've used both Versamagic White Cloud and the Lawn Fawn Unicorn just to show you the difference. I didn't notice any, but you might have different brands. Don't use StazOn, because that kind of ruined my finger dauber. And yeah, here I'm pointing at green, and pink will make brown. But if you just stay on the edges, it's okay, it won't be too bad. And then of course yellow and purple will also make brown, but just be careful. And I try to be random with these applications of color, but yeah, there's not true randomness, someone's said somewhere. But yeah, just circles, and if you feel like you need to make them a little bit bigger, you can go back even if you want them to make them a little bit darker because of the white that's going on top, it will of course fade a little bit again. And to put the dots on, I have homemade stencils, which is just circles that I've die cut with my nesting circles. And then of course there's also stencils that you can buy. I forgot to grab one. It's Bubbles from Under the Sea, from Crafty Motions actually, and those have nice bubbles as well. But this is Falling Snow from Sam Stamp. This is the homemade ones. You can see there's still white ink on there. Dotted circles, also Sam Stamp. Tim Holtz 037. I can't remember if it's called Splatters or something like that, but yeah, packaging is somewhere in the basket with all the stencils. I take them out of the packaging and then I never put them back. So just I'm using finger dauber. Yeah, that's the hard one from Stays On. And you could have used the big one as here as well, because you just apply ink all over. And you have to heat set the pigment ink in between applications, and the distress inks will kind of there's a melt when you put this one on. They kind of blur as well because it's moisture, of course, and they're water reactive. So to make the layering, as I say, keep in mind that the big ones need to be the lightest, and you can always put a second layer of white on top if you feel it needs to be darker, but the smaller ones need to be the darkest. That's the same with your application of numero drops or enamel dots. The brightest need to be the smallest, otherwise they command all the attention, and you don't get the depth of field if you put the really big ones in front and they are covering everything else because they're most opaque. And you can always turn this one. You can use little elements of the stencil. You don't have to use the whole stencil all the time, of course. You can just play, I think. And as I say, heat setting is important so you don't mix and fade out the ones that you just applied. I do close up my ink pad in between just because the heat might dry it out. I'm not sure if I have to refill for white yet, but and then yes, I just choose circles that I like, and there's really no recipe. You just apply circles as much as you want, and heat set in between. They're very important. My cards got so warm that actually you could feel it. And there's a switch to the other ink just to show you there's a difference, but there's not. Actually, not that I've noticed. It looks whiter when it's wet, but then when you heat set it, it melts into the background, I guess. I'm not sure if that's because of the recipe of the ink pad. Make sure some of your circles or bubbles go off the edge. That makes it look more random, more natural as well. So I went to clean off my hands from the white ink, and I noticed there's a grid here. I think my stamp cleaner melted this grid. It's just printed or copied onto the acetate. So I put that grid on top just to make sure all my sentences are straight and my sentiments. And You will see. I had a grrr moment there, but at least it's straight. And I want the bunny to be kind of on the side in the middle. And I went for hoera, a baby op komst. A baby is coming, expecting a baby, something like that. A baby is coming. Whatever you want. You can put anything. I thought maybe I should omit the baby one and just put hoera on it, because then you can use it for a birthday as well. Or something else, hoera. And yeah. See what happened there. The grid melted and it didn't dry, or I don't know what happened here, but I tried to erase it. That didn't work, and I thought maybe I can cover it with my die cut. Nope. So I'm starting over on a new card base, and I know the sentence says, or the sentiments are in the right place, so I just need to stamp it. And I'm sorry it doesn't fit into the screen. I zoomed in too much, I guess. But yeah, hoera. I used Versamagic Clear Nocturne ink, and I switched to the Simon Says Stamp Hero Art stamp cleaner now again, because I think that my Nuvo drop maybe Nuvo stamp cleaner is a bit too harsh. I don't know. And yeah, you will see how I fix the bokeh effect, because I'm not starting over again, of course. Not that crazy. And I'm also picking up a bit of paper. That's the Crafter's Companion marker paper. And I have a bit here. That's half a sheet. Doesn't fit in the Misty, by the way. But I'll just let it hang off a little bit. And then I get my stamp out. And this is not the same quality. Also, it's not the same price. But you will see. I think, how should I put it? And I kind of let the stamp find its own shape, but then I try to die cut it. I find that it's not the right shape. I didn't think about it, so I stamp it twice with my favorite things, extreme black ink, and then here I put the die on. You see, you can die cut, and then I noticed that it's off kilter. And so like, okay, I will use the die as a guide, so I know where to put my stamp, and I fit it in there or on top. And I think that's it. That's the right shape, right? Nope. Yeah. I will keep the other one. I didn't color it on screen, but I will color it and then probably cut it out by hand or with my plotter. We'll see. It moved somehow, and now it looks okay. And then when I try to die cut it later, yeah. Anyway, for coloring I have a demo next week, Make and Take. So what I've done is group all my markers together for people that are just starting out. So I thought that might be also a nice tip for you guys, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time that you want to color. So I just put a rubber band on it, a band-aid, a rubber band with colors I think will work nicely. I didn't even really try them because I know my colors, and I just put 2 or 3 or even 4 in a blending group together, so I know you will get a good result. And I think that will make my life a little bit easier on the Make and Take, so I can just give them, here's yellow, here's blue, here's green, and I don't have to think about it as well on the day when it's maybe really busy at my table. And you see how it works. And then afterwards I put a band-aid, which might be considered a little bit of a hassle, but because you don't have to think how to blend or which colors to choose. Here I started with DP2, and DP3 is my rubber band project, but I thought maybe I should use one as well. It's a little bit lighter. I think the step is a bit too big, but I'm looking for it. I can't find it because the cap is also not at all dusty pink, is it? For my bunny, I went for a creamy colored in the tan family. I'm not sure if there are bunnies that color, but yeah, you could make him color in the gender of the baby if you know already. That's why I went for a dusty pink and a yellow balloon, because yeah, could have been pink and blue as well, but sometimes you don't know. They don't tell you. Sometimes they do. So if it's a birthday card, it doesn't really matter. Of course, you can make him any color. I didn't want him to be too dark, like an earthy brown or something like that. And I also didn't want him to be ice gray, because that's a bit cold. So I went for 10, 1, 2, 3. And I think that turned out really cute. And yeah, I can't shake that. Yeah, but anyway, the bunny is just simply color, but as I say, you can give him a baby color if you prefer, or maybe more of a pastel tint, like a purple or minty green or whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. And yeah, I'm just coloring the same. The color is coming from the opposite side as I would usually do, but because there's the highlight on the balloons, I kind of have to go with that, don't I? So I'm not that kind of a rebel. yeah, I do follow rules, but you have to. And yeah, that's it done. I will put on some Nouveau Shimmer pen once I'm done, just for a bit of shimmer, extra glimmer. And now I'm trying to get my die cutting machine off the ground. And it doesn't fit into the screen, of course. So I'm zooming out, but in first, of course. Yeah. So here's where I put the die on top. And thinking, I've put it on top before I stamped it. And I can't get it to fit. I try to wiggle it a little bit. Maybe, it's bent or it's me. In the end, I just went for it, and these didn't stick too well, so I just grabbed a few fresh ones. See, I shouldn't make cards early in the morning, because I don't know, it doesn't work out for me. But yeah, I'm sorry, I had to go with this, and the other one I will just fussy cut. And it die cut beautifully. That's not even a problem. I mean, I just want pass back and forth. So my bouquet, yeah, I will just cut it off here and just stick it on. Because as I said, I'm not starting again. I would have liked it to be one layer. But yeah, sometimes it doesn't work out the way you want, does it? So you see he's a bit off kilter still, but yeah, I went with it. I gave up. I did that. I put it in the die, and I don't know what went wrong, but yeah. Anyway, just to put the bouquet effect, I just use some tape runner and then try to stick it on straight as much as possible. And I've mounted the bunny with foam tape, just so he stands out a little bit from the background. And then I've put on the shimmer pen, as I said, and I have also put on 3 glittery enamel dots, just to mimic the balloons that he's hanging from. Even the release paper didn't want to release. Yeah. I can laugh about it already, it's now 11 o'clock, so that's okay. But it wasn't my best morning. So this is almost done. Just a few enamel dots and some shimmer pen. And this is the silver one, or clear. And I'm not sure you can see it, but it does pick it up. And the enamel dots, I matched them to the background. So where I've put them, there's a bit of green, there's a bit of blue. And also try to put them, of course, in a triangular shape. So for the top one, I had to go for purple. And 2 different sizes as well. So I consider that my card done. I'd like to thank you for watching. And thank you for sticking with me for 20 minutes. And I will see you again very soon. Bye.